So with the incursion being out approximately what 2 weeks now, I've gotten to thinking, what now? What is next for the Division Two? You guys know we actually have quite a few months away before we even get the next set of content, which is going to be season three, and then probably another 4 months after that until we see the actual DLC. If you don't open up your menu, you can already see that it says 16 weeks in one day. So by the time this video goes live, we still got 16 weeks. So approximately 4 months, which will push it all the way till February before we get anything. So we have the leagues, continue the manhunt, and then we really don't even know what we're getting in season three. We just know what they mentioned is we're going back to New York City. We know in season four we're getting a DLC, so that's story driven. So I don't even know what we're really getting for season three. Is season three just going to be like a filler season where it's just a manhunt season? What are we actually getting? Because remember, season three said we're going back to New York. We're getting a holiday event, which we know that's going to end up being in season two because it's going to be during the holiday season. And then we're getting an apparel event, which we have every season. But what does back to New York mean? What does that mean? Is there story driven? Because if you notice on season four, it says story DLC seasons 2.0. So I'm a little worried. What are we actually getting in season three? If it's just going to be a manhunt season, that is going to be a very long 8 months, guys. And I'm going to tell you, there has to be something you do in between. If you're new, if you're returning, 100% there's a ton of content for you guys to do. But for all the veteran players who are just waiting for some new content, there's going to be a drought of content for us. If you don't enjoy PvPing, which I do with my clan, so that actually gives me something to do when I'm not doing PvE. We do some incursions. We help our clan get the exotics. We try to do a little bit faster runs. We're not a speed run clan, but we'll go out there and just play around with the times a little bit. And we mainly PvP. That's what we like to do. We like to get weapons, farm gear, level it up, and then go fight players. That's ideally what we genuinely like to do. So for us, we have something to keep us kind of busy. But again, that is still a very long time with no new content. And pretty much for the rest of the season, right? For the rest of season two, we're just finishing up the manhunt, doing those league activities, which is just doing missions with some times on them. But again, very, very slow season overall. Like if you don't enjoy doing the incursion, if the incursion is not your thing, you're probably already maybe bored out of your mind if you're a veteran player. If you're new, you probably have so much stuff to do because you have your shade levels, you have your expertise, you have all the other missions you probably haven't done yet, and you have to grind a little bit, right? But again, realistically, for people who've been playing since day one, this might be a time for you to find that filler game, right? A game to keep you busy. I mean, and the good thing about it, there has been a ton of amazing, really good games. I can recommend a few. Spider-Man 2, if you have a PlayStation 5, was amazing. Assassin's Creed Mirage was actually a ton of fun if you like the old school Assassin's Creeds. They also had Alan Wake 2. I haven't played it, but I've heard a lot of people saying it's a very fun game, and a ton of other games depending on what you like playing. Oh, and if you like PvP, you also have the new Modern Warfare 3 coming out, which I had the pleasure of playing the open beta, and I will tell you it was a ton of fun if you like movement, because movement is back in Modern Warfare 3. So again, a ton of games for you to play in the meantime while the Division 2 developers work on that next DLC coming in Season 4. Now, until then, which is probably, 8 months from now, if you kind of want to estimate. I mean, it's a long time, right? 8 months before we get our major DLC, which will probably have a huge influx of player coming back. But until then, I don't really see anything that's going to bring a huge amount of players back to the Division 2. Yes, you'll have players who come back for the apparel events just to do those. You'll have players who take breaks in between each manhunt. They'll knock out the manhunt and then they'll take breaks. And I have friends that do that, right? Like I have friends who play the game. They come back for the manhunt, they do it, and they leave because they just say PvP hasn't really changed for a while. And for them, they just don't enjoy it. For me personally, I think PvP is fun in a group and when you're having fun with your friends. But yes, a lot of things could be changed with the PvP in the Division 2 to make it a lot better. There could be also more game modes like Last Stand that we had in Division 1. Just so much could be done, but obviously you guys know it hasn't. And well, that's another different story there. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. At the end of the day, I feel like the incursion just isn't enough content to hold players over for 4 months. Now, there will be players that are out there trying to grind that Ouroboros, but once they get it, will they continue to play this over and over and over? Unless you're a speedrunner or you're somebody who enjoys getting faster times, like maybe the same people who do the raids. But to, I say, the average gamer of the Division 2, their main goal is really to get the Ouroboros, and then once they get it, they'll be on with their way to play other content in the Division 2. Now, to me, I just wish we were getting more content as a whole each season. But, you know, they are working at bringing a DLC, so I have to give it time. But in the meantime, it just sucks because it's going to be a long wait until we do get that DLC. And we're looking at 4 months till season 3. And then, depending on what we actually even get, could be a long 4 to 5 months until we get story DLC for season 4, right? And I mean, that's just the reality. I've been through the Division 2 for the last 5 years, and we've had content droughts where it's honestly been like that, right? We've had droughts where we didn't really get a lot of content. It was just seasons after seasons after seasons. And I want to say this has been one of the most packed content we've gotten in a while, and that's because they've actually put support into doing that. So I am grateful for that. I enjoyed the incursion. I thought it's a really cool concept. I like incursions in the Division 1, but I do enjoy PvP a lot, and I feel like PvP really has been neglected, right? PvP in this game has been neglected, and the love that it should get, it doesn't get, and there could be a lot of reasons why. But overall, like, I wish we had Last Stand, as I mentioned earlier. And honestly, I hope maybe we get something for season 4 for the DLC. But again, I am not holding my breath for anything PvP related. But I want to know, what do you guys plan on doing during these next 4 months, right? Since it looks like we're probably not getting season 3 till February. What do you plan on doing? If you're a new returning player, working on those shade levels, expertise levels, grinding those exotics, getting your gear up, I can see you doing that. But what about for the rest of you guys who've been playing? If you've been playing since day one, what do you plan on doing for the next couple weeks, next couple months until the new season comes out? I know what I plan on doing. I'll probably be playing PvP with my clan. I'll definitely be completing the manhunt. I think we have a new manhunt. Part of the new manhunt season starts tomorrow, so I'll work on that manhunt. But that usually takes about 1 day to just run through it. If you just start it, you follow it. But what's after that, I'm not sure. My main account is completely done. Maybe I can work on my alt account and kind of like level up the expertise and shade level on that, which I've been doing a little bit of. So I could probably do that. That's probably what I'll do for the next couple months. But I'll dab in some Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. Definitely love always playing me some multiplayer. And then maybe, depending on when they announce Division Resurgence, that could be a big game for me to really enjoy and play. Even though it's mobile, I think it's a solid game. And if it has anything to do with the Division and it plays as well as the Division, hey, it's always a win-win to try something else in the Division franchise. So it's never a bad thing to be able to play other games. It does suck when your favorite game has content droughts, which I believe the Division 2 will have if you don't consider the season's content, right? The Manhunt's content. If you expect like some type of DLC, if you expect some type of PvP mode, stuff like that, well, that's just not happening right now. And we just got to wait. We got to wait and see what season 3. Hopefully they give us more information. But at the moment, we know we're going back to New York. I hope it's just not a manhunt in New York City, because obviously that would be truly disappointing, and a very, very long 8 months at least before we get anything major. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. What do you think is the content coming for season 3? What do you plan on doing in the meantime? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this run. I believe we end up getting 9 minutes and 45 seconds. You'll actually see it in a second. We just completed it. But yeah, the timer will be coming up. But again, let me know what you guys think about content for the next 2 seasons and how long it's actually going to take. And let's look at the time. 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And there you go. All right, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. See you in the next one. Nothing but skills out.